Which of these do you prefer to solve? 5 times 56 or 280 divided by 5? Ask most students or even adults if they prefer multiplication or division. And I have a gut feeling I know which response would be more popular. Hi, I'm Sarah Porcnellic, and today's video centers on the 4th grade standard NSO.2, which calls for students to divide a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit number. Students are encouraged to use manipulatives, models, and properties of operations to solve, and are introduced to various methods for solving. If you know me, or even have watched a few of my videos, you probably know how much I support using concrete materials when first teaching a concept. And this standard is no different. As you begin teaching division, using place value blocks can help students make sense of the steps involved in solving. For today, however, we'll skip forward to using representational models to solve. We are also going to use multiplication as the star of the show. So let's take a look at an example video of me solving 283 divided by 5 using an area model. If you'd like to go ahead and try to solve it beforehand, you can pause the video now.
Okay, so in this video, we are going to take a look at the problem 383 divided by 5. And this is the 4th grade standard, so they're not necessarily going to be using the algorithm to solve because we want that conceptual understanding to come before that abstract thinking. So we're going to use the area model for this example. And so that's utilizing multiplication instead of the division to help us solve. So you might want to have a conversation with students about what this problem represents. So, we're thinking of it 5 times something equals 283. So by this point, students should understand that they can represent this as an area model. So where 5 goes here or vice versa, this is our question mark, what we're not sure. And then we know that this whole total of this entire square is 283. Now, before you get to this step, you can have students use the place value blocks and make 283, in the square. So they can use 200s, 8 10s, and 3 1s to make that square. And that will lead to conversations because you won't have a square or a rectangle, right? Because you can't divide this evenly. So they'll understand what's happening there a little bit better. The beauty about the area model here is that students can access it even if they don't have a solid understanding of their multiplication facts. So you want to just ask them, use lots of questioning here. So 5 times something equals 283. Now they're probably not going to know that, so you would ask them, what's something that we can multiply by to get us close? If they don't know, you just start going. So 5 times 1 is 5, so is that close to 283? Again, you might have to scaffold even more using a number line or a 100s chart, 200s chart to get the answer of no, it's not. So you can step up as quickly as you want, depending on the students who are in front of you, probably in small group. So that is, students might say, sure, that's close. So you could start there. Or they might say, no. So you could even go, one step further and do maybe 5 times 20. So you guide this thinking and the conversation based on the students. So let's just say that they stop here. So we have 5 times 10 is 50. And you're going to want to have them draw a line here to show the area of this in relative to this, if that makes sense. So we're not going to draw the line over here because that would be a big chunk. That might be a little bit hard for them to understand, so you might have to guide them through that, and then they'll understand as you go. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So we have this 50. Now we want to figure out what the rest is here. So 5 times what else is going to give us the rest? Well, what is the rest? So you can do this on the side if you'd like, or you can do it inside the block here. It's up to you. So I have 233, and again, I want to get something close, to that number. So let's say we start here, so we know that's not necessarily close, so maybe we can get them to 100. Well, we have 233. Is there a way to get easily, how many more groups of that would you need? Well, you need one more group of 100 to get pretty close, so we'd need 40. And again, students might know this, and that's why we're starting with a 5, because they can probably more easily come up with these equations over here to help them solve. So now we have 40. Again, we're going to make that line. So if we made this 10, then we're going to have quite a bit of it. And that's going to be 200, the area there. And they should know this from multiplication. So again, coming to the side or inside and doing that. So we have 33 left, which, you know, I did okay, but it is smaller than 50, but students need to see that these rectangles are not the same. So 5 times something is needing to get us close to 33. This they can count by 5s to get the closest, which is 6. And coming over here, they would have 3 remaining or left. You know, can we make another group of 5? No, we're dividing though. So either we have a remainder of 3 or 3/5. And that's going to depend on the context of the problem that you use. And so then you want to guide them to, okay, 5 times what is 283? Well, it's all of these added together. So we get 10 plus 40 plus 6 plus 3/5. So we have 56 and 3/5. 56 and 3/5. So again, 283 divided by 5 equals 56 and 3/5. Or how we represent it up here with multiplication, 5 times 56 and 3/5 equals 283. And that is how you can walk them through the area model and ask them to explain their thinking and get them started after they've done this with the place value blocks.
Remember, as students learn to divide larger numbers, they are processing many steps and utilizing various foundational skills. So it's fair to say that students may need a significant chunk of time to learn this standard. Be sure to offer encouragement and point out how far students have come in their learning. It also may be helpful to teach this standard in a small group setting at first, rather than a whole group, so that you can be sure that each student understands the steps involved and uses manipulatives as they work out what's happening. You can also benefit from utilizing small group instruction at first, because you can tailor the questions you ask to meet the needs of the learners in front of you in that moment. Check out the resource sheet that accompanies this video for additional tips. Also, remember that students may have different ways of dividing, as seen in the example video. Have them discuss their strategies and why they prefer that method. Embrace the differences in their approaches and celebrate each of their successes, which will help a growth mindset environment flourish in your classroom. Until next time, thanks for listening.